There we go. Good afternoon, drivers and spectators. My name is Kevin Robertson. I'll be your host today for today's Ukrainian Racing League. We've got round 4 at Monza. We're already 4 minutes into qualifying, but we got some fast times on the board. Looks like the driver number 30 has the pole set time right now, provisional of 1:43.597. They're going to be battling some high winds coming down the main straights here. We're looking at on board with the number 7 car as he's setting in a time. He's got traffic behind that's going to be giving them a nice tow as soon as he gets through the parabolic and onto the main straight. He won't be happy to do that for them as it's going to be their competition, but that's going to be the name of the game, I feel like, around here today, is going to be following the driver behind and using that draft for the overtake and staying close behind. Otherwise, you will get left behind. Now we're on board with the number 30 with a beautiful red and white livery coming into turn 1. Heavy on the brakes into this chicane. It's a deep chicane. Turn 1 of the race is going to be pretty tight here. Rise the sausage on the apex. Ooh, looks like Grego's gone loose in front of him. Gives him a chance to get through. Now he's going to be giving a tow to the drivers behind here as well. Looks like we got another time on the board from the number 86. Only 8/100ths off of the number 30 car. That's pretty impressive. Looks like we might have a close field depending on the other times we see. Still on board with the number 30. Coming through the first chicane here, then we're going to be reaching the Lesmos curves. Makes it through those pretty beautifully. Goes a little bit wide, but that should be fine in regards to track limits. Eating the curves there. Look at that, nice and beautiful. Love the way the cars bounce over these. Now we're approaching the Ascari curve. And then leading back into the parabolic again. He's giving a nice tow to these drivers behind. There's only 3 minutes left of qualifying. Coming through the parabolica. Heading onto the main straight now. Giving a massive tow to the 7 behind. 666 put down a lap time. 2.5 off the pace. Looks like timing screens didn't update for that. Oh shoot, the number 7 locks the brakes, spins wide into turn 1. He doesn't want to do that during the race. It's going to get real messy and hairy. They're going to leave him vulnerable to collisions. Back on board with the 375. Oh, he's not on the timing sheets yet. He hasn't set down a lap. Beautiful purple and orange livery of the Osprey car. Approaching the first chicane here. He goes deep into the sausage curves. The cars are going to be bouncy. Not going to like that. Really stiff car at that start 10. And he's going to ease his way through the Lesmos and try and recover. And maybe he's only got, he's got enough time to set one more lap. This could be a good chance for him to tumble up the board a little bit. Going through Curva del Seraglio right now. Approaching the Ascari curve. See how brave he gets into the braking zone here. It's the curb on the entry. Uses it to tug him around. Sausage on the inside there. Now the long stretch of the parabolic again. He does have a driver ahead, which might benefit him if he goes in for another lap. Number 30 still sitting on provisional pole with a 1:43.3. Now someone pulled over on the start finish. Oh, they're just going back to the pits there. All right, 375 is starting another flying lap. Let's see how brave he gets into the turn 1. Deep heavy chicane, doing a really hard right-hand turn right into a left-hander. Again, he doesn't use the curves for apex. Now he's back on the straight, heading to the first chicane. Going through Curva Biasano right now. At the 300, the 200. 161 sets a lap time of 1:46.212. Looks a little better through here this time. Last time he went over the sausage curve, so that's good for him. No track limits there. Should be able to set this lap time if he can keep it all together for the rest of it. Qualifying is now over. Oh, it doesn't make it all the way through. So the grid for the sprint race is going to be with first, second, third being 30, 86, and 7. The top three were only separated by, I believe, half a second, so that should be interesting for the race. Setting the grid now. Letting the drivers make their last few adjustments before they sit down in the car. We got some flashing lights from the 77. He's ready to party. He wants to go. Got 20 degrees Celsius air temp, 22 degrees Celsius track temp, 48% humidity, 44-kilometer winds. Heading down the straight from true north. Partially cloudy conditions here at Monza today. Should make for an interesting race. Particularly as these drivers fight that wind. Some pretty fast winds. Oh, we've got the lights on.
Green flag.
They drop. And we're green. Going off the start. We got the 30. He looks like he gets a good getaway. He's loose on the rear end. Leaves the 86 some room on the inside. Makes a dive for the 30. Gets defensive for the 7 behind. Coming into turn 1. 86 looks like he's taking the lead. The 7's lost 2 positions there at the start. Gained 1. Going into turn 1. Or they can make it all through clean. Oh, the 7 gets his elbows out. Pushes his way through the 30. Makes it pass. Look at that. Everyone made it through clean. It looks like we've got one driver a little bit behind. Just had a bad start there. Looks like that's the 375, the Leah Ratkin. The 30 is looking like he's making a move. 7 gets defensive. Coming into the first chicane here. Who's going to be braver on the brakes and make it through? Is the 7 going to leave him room, or is he going to show his nose? 7 backs out of it, leaves it up to the 30, gives him the position back. Now the 30 is on the chase. He lost the position from the start, and now he's going to be chasing down the 85 for that back of Mark-Anthony. Going through the Lesmos curves here. He's going to try to stay as close as he can to the drivers behind. Now we're on board with the 77 here, right behind the 666 car. Looks like everyone made it through, so we've got some who've jockeyed up and down, and now it looks like they're going to be getting in line here, kind of starting to form a pace for the race. The 30 is on the 86's bumper, though. This is going to be interesting coming into turn 1 after we get through the straight again. Approaching the Parabolica curve right now. They're getting in line. Draft is very important. These drivers are going to be sucked up to each other. They're going to be ready for this. Oh, looks like the 30 made it a little peek down the inside. Just putting some pressure on the 86. Just trying to make him nervous. And it looks like it's working. The 86 is going to go defensive, it looks like. He's going to hold his line on the straight. Looks like the 30 is going to make a move around the outside. He's going to try. Who's going to be braver into the braking zone? 30 was caught. Oh, goes in. Covers the inside, leaves the room for the 7 to go around and hook it. Now the 7's got the lead of the race. There goes Gergo. Gets defensive real hard with the 30. They're going to be battling. I have a good feeling this is going to be a good race. Hopefully they're able to keep it clean and get us through. 30's making a peek around the outside again here at the Biasano curve. Approaching that first chicane again. Oh, there. Oh, I thought they were going to put 3 into 1 there. It doesn't work like that. 30's taking the lead again. 7's wide over the sausage curve, leaving the room for the 86 to take that position back. These guys are jockeying. They're all over the road. And we got someone wide in the back. And it looks like he's able to recover it. Was that the 375 of Ilya Ratkin? They were able to keep it onto the track and not end up in a wall, and that's good. Now the 375 and the 21 are battling. 375 makes it through. Tires are going to be a little bit warm from that spin, but I'm impressed they were able to keep it there. Oh, maybe it was the 21. Looks like he's got a little wide on that exit there. Now we're back with the leaders. 86 is breathing down the neck of the number 30 car. I have a feeling they're going to be trading position all race, back and forth, and some of them might get a little impatient, they might start rubbing wheels. 86 is remaining close through the parabolica. Making him peek out wide, making him choose the line. Looks like the 7's falling back a little bit. For whatever reason there, the 7 has lost a little bit of pace. Now he's going to settle into a lonely spot in this race, unless he can get the 77 to approach. 86 is going out, making a peek, going to the inside. Heavy on the brakes. 30's going to think about a switchback, but he's going to get in line. 86 has got to keep it clean. He's slow on the exit, leaves room for the 30 to get a run. Compromises that. There could have been a little bit of contact, but they made it through okay. These two are neck and neck heading into the first chicane again. It's giving the 7 a bit of a sniff, and now the 7's back in the picture here. Oh, 86 hits the sausage, goes a little wide, lets the 7 sneak through. Some great racing we're seeing from the top 3 here. They're keeping it clean, keeping it respectful. Got a close battle back here too with the 77 and the 666. 77's been breathing down the back of his neck, but I have a feeling they're just kind of sitting down and getting in line and trying to work together to catch the guys ahead. Riding on board here, we see him coming up to the Ascari curve. Oh, forget working together. He's making a look for it. Is he going to be harder on the brakes? Is he going to make this move around the outside stick? 666 lets him through. And off goes the 77 on his way to try to catch the 86 there. Now, these drivers are going to be going back and forth quite often, and I think it would work in their best interest if they were to work together, give each other some draft, and not so that they don't have to get so defensive and they catch the 3 ahead. But nevertheless, that's not letting the 86, 7, and 30 stop us from having a great battle to watch here. Going down the main straight, they're getting defensive, all wide next to the pit wall. Weaving back and forth a little bit, trying to break any resemblance of a slipstream. 86 is close enough to make a dive, but won't. He'll stay in line. Looks like the 30 is able to keep him ahead this time by. The 7 wants to be closer to the bumper, preferably. 666. Oh, 666 is wide on the exit there, gets a little loose. That's going to really hurt in his ability to stay close to the 77, which might leave him out to drive for a little bit. Let's see how they get to the chicane there. Heavy on the brakes for the 30, eating the sausage on the inside. Oh wow, look at this camera angle, got the 7 chasing close behind. What a menacing look too from that black. 86 is getting ever closer to the 7. Making their way to the Ascari curve once more. A little bit of curb there, that's going to leave the 7 vulnerable. Is the 86 going to make the move on this straight? He goes wide, 7 gets a little bit defensive, but it looks like he's going to give him some berth on the racetrack. The 666 is in the slipstream of the 77 again. Those two are going to be jockeying for position all race, I believe, as well. The bummer for the 161. Oh, actually, the 161 is getting approached by 375. He's making up some room. Got 86 here. They get really defensive. He's staying behind. He's pushing them. They're bump drafting. They're trying to catch the number 30. They're bump drafting in radicals. He sticks his nose out, makes him think he's going to go for it. Gets on the brakes again. Now the 666 made his way past the 77 again. They're going to be going back and forth, these two. Oh, he's wide! The 666 is not going back and forth. He's going into the chicane runoff area. Heavy on the brakes back. Hopefully he has a good rejoin. Throw it in reverse, Terry. Get it through. Oh, we got a battle for the lead here. Number 7's taking the lead. And does he keep it respectful? Oh, they're bumping wheels. They're bumping wheels. He gets pushed wide. It's going to give 86 a look up the inside. 86 takes the lead of the race. Going through the Lesmos curves. Keep it clean, guys. Keep it in line. Keep it orderly. Bump some wheels, rubbing is racing, but do not take each other out of this race. Going wide. Now we're getting onto the Curva del Seraglio, heading towards Ascari again. Looks like 30's making a sneak up the outside. He's sniffing, he's smelling. Is there an opportunity there? There might be. Does the 86 give it up without a fight though? No, he doesn't, he stays ahead. Looks like the 30 might have just been trying to put some pressure on there, make him nervous, make him overthink, but looks like 86 isn't falling for any of those tricks. 30's loose again, leaving the 7 an opportunity to come around the outside. 77 is now all by his lonely. He's gonna have a tough job trying to catch these without any help. 666 looks like he was able to have a good rejoin and came out ahead of the 161 and the 21 car. Getting real defensive here from the 86. We're on the pit stretch. He's riding that wall, riding that white line. Now the 7 is going to box in the 30. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1. Who's going to be last on the brakes? And it's the 86. He gets caught out. Oh! He only lost 1 position there. That's all right. He'll be sniffing. He'll be ready to go attack that back. The number 30 is back to the lead of the race. These guys are going to be neck and neck, elbows out the entirety of this sprint. Maybe for the full feature, they might get a little bit more relaxed and not put it all on the line here, but these guys are ruthless. Approaching the first chicane again, the 30 gets defensive on the inside line, which leaves the opportunity for the 86 to think about a switchback as he hits the curbs on the exit there. Oh, 86 gave a little peek. He made him think he was going to go for it. He's not going to do it. He knows that he needs to wait till he's on a straight, use that wind to his advantage, and use the air for his advantage. The driver ahead is going to be punching a lot of, a big hole through those 45-kilometer-hour winds. It almost would be better to stay behind until the very end and just make that move on the straight. Oh, the 86, look at that run. God, the run is insane. Slipstream is very, very powerful here. Got the nose on it. The 30's a little bit loose. Oh, they're bumping. '86 is coming out, making a peek on the parabolic curve. Interesting place, he stays behind. Now the 7 and the 86 and the 30 are all in line once again. What's going to happen here on the straight? Oh, the 7 makes a big lunge to the outside here, trying to box in the 30 with the 86. 7 takes the lead of the race as we come to the line. 30 slots in behind. 7 goes defensive to the inside, leaves the outside open for the 30. And the 30 retains the lead coming into turn 1. Slow on the exit though, that backs up the 7 and the 86. Then he takes off with it. Now let's see if these guys behind the 30 start battling for position and giving him some room to breathe. We're 11 minutes through this sprint race, 9 minutes to go. The 30's built up half a second gap between the guys behind. Oh, he's wide, hits the gravel on the exit. That's not going to help his gap at all. Looks like the drivers behind them have all slotted into position. Now they're finding their own speed of the race, but these guys are just neck and neck. 86 of Mark-Anthony is down 1 position from the start. And Gergo is up 1 position. The 30 still remains on top. Ooh, little wide there. Little puff of gravel, but that's all right. They're going to make their way down the straight again, heading towards the Parabolica. It's a long, sweeping right-hander. Coming down the main straight now, crossing the checkered flag right there. What are they going to do? Looks like, oh, what a run from the 86. Getting both in one corner, a 2-for-1 special. That's how powerful that slipstream is here. And the 7 doesn't get defensive. Who's going to be last on the brakes? 86 takes the lead of this race. With the 30 making a... Oh, he made the 7 think he was going to come around the outside there, but they were both pretty slow on the exit. Gives 86 a little bit of breathing room coming into the first chicane. It's anybody's game at this point. First chicane, gets on the brakes, uses that sausage for rotation, hits the curves on the exit. Approaching the Lesmos now. Drivers are getting in line, thinking about when they're going to make their next move. Tires are not really going to be a concern. Look at the rear end step out a little bit onto the exit there. He's building a gap away. He's pulling away from the number 7 car here. He was at half a second. He got it up to 6/10. Now they're on a straight. It's dropping back down again because he's having to punch a hole through that windy air. Through the Ascari curve, he's making it pretty clean, and he's still stepping away from the drivers behind. It looks like he's finding a little bit of a groove. The only thing that's saving them now is the fact that they're able to use that slipstream to their advantage, the same as he was to take the lead of the race. Parabolica, long sweeping right-hander once again. Looks like he's going to position his car in the middle of the track and make them choose where. Ever closer, the number 7 is getting a large push from the 30. 7 goes out wide, 86 that spends the inside. And he retains the lead of the race. The 30 and the 7 are wheel to wheel banging. The 7 pushing as wide. 30 gets a better runoff, and he's got the position. Look at that. Great action we're seeing here from the first 3 drivers. It's given the opportunity to the 86 to try and pull ahead a little bit, but we know that that 30 is fast. He put the car on pole. He has the pace for certain to stay right up to the 86's bumper. And that he does coming into turn 4 and 5. Now we're approaching 6 and 7, the Lesmo curves once again. We see the 77 hasn't really been able to make up much ground. In fact, he's losing about a second a lap, just about. 86 gets a good exit there. He likes to go wide. He swings it really. He uses all of that curving there for the exit. He says, "What's it there for?" No attempts to break the slipstream. He doesn't care. He knows what he has to do. He just got to keep a cool, calm, and collected mind now as they start to spread out a little bit. See, the 7 had a little bit of a moment somewhere. The 30's sniffing his rear end. He's coming. He's coming. Oh, the 86 gets defensive. He says, "No, you're not taking it here. You're going to have to work for it on the straight." 86 retains the lead in that part. That's given the 7 an opportunity to come. 30 swinging out wide. Now, what's going to save the 7 here is the slipstream from the both of them. It's going to put him right back up into contention coming into turn 1. "30 takes the lead of the race. Is 86 going to give it up? He stays heavy on the brakes. Oh, he wants the wheel-to-wheel action. Thinking about a switchback, but the 7's right there. Now they're all bunched up again, and the 30 takes the lead once again. 4 minutes to go of this race. It's going to give us about... Oh, the 86 is thinking about it on the outside here. Oh, he's gonna shove it down into this braking zone. The number 7 is gonna lift early. He's gonna watch this battle play out ahead of him and hope that he can capitalize on it some. It's a lot of curb from the 86, a lot of the curb from the 30. Oh, almost shoulder checks the 30 out of the way. Reminds him that that's his corner of the racetrack there. Coming into the Lesmos. 86 goes wide, 30 on the inside. 7's just kind of sitting behind here, waiting and biding his time. I think he's counting on them. Oh, looks like there was some contact. They made it through just fine though. And that's the opportunity that the 7 car was waiting for. He was waiting for them to get a little messy. Oh, he gives him the little shoulder check there. Tried to cover off the inside, but wasn't quite clear. And then he backs off, lets them start battling again. Looks like the 7 is finding his rhythm here, and he's liking this spot behind to punch. He's letting them punch his hole through the air. It looks like the 7 is trying to be a little bit strategic about it. I don't think he wants to finish 3rd. The gloves are coming off as we reach the final stages of this sprint race. Drivers are getting desperate. They want this win. Riding on board with the 86 car. He's sitting behind. He's sitting behind. The 30 goes out. Goes defensive on the inside. But it looks like the 86 is getting a nice push from the 7. The 30's deeper on the brakes there. Does he overshoot? Does he make the corner? The 86 says, "I'm still here." Pushes. 86 is not willing to give this up without a fight. 30 gets defensive on the inside. Little deep on the brakes there. Gives 86 a little peek. They make it through okay. But 7 is still just uncertain. He doesn't know when he wants to make the move, and he's counting on these guys to probably get a little bit more messy so he can capitalize on that. He's in a really good spot though, where this streamline he's getting from sitting behind him, that's definitely giving him quite the advantage to catch up to him if he has any mistakes in the corners. '86 is making a move up on the Ascari curve. He wants to wheel the wheel the whole way. He makes a stick. '86 back in the lead. And 30's going out wide. What does the 7 do here? The 7's going to push the '86. The 7's found his partner. They're working together. Look at that. Some bump drafting in the radicals. Coming through the parabolica. The 7 is... Oh, looks like the 7's decided he wants to hook a ride with the 30 car. '86 doesn't have a great exit out of there. Should be white flag this time by. We got one more. 30 goes defensive for the inside. Covering up the '86, he does not want that. And the 7 takes the lead of the race. The 7's up there. We got Mark-Anthony thinking he's gonna hook it around the outside. It has to get on the brakes. The 7 shuts that door. Now Mark-Anthony's the box, and the 30 has a bad exit. He can't do it. Now what's the 7 gonna do? He's in the lead here. He's been spending a lot of the time in the back behind, just waiting, biding his time. Now he's gonna have to get defensive with the slipstream. I think he made that move one lap too soon. 30's coming up. He's gonna get heavy on the brakes into the chicane, and he locks it, but he makes it through all in one piece. The 7 loses the position there, but that might have been a little bit of strategy from him as well, because he knows coming onto the straights he's gonna have an awesome slipstream. Making our way through the Lesmos here. Neck and neck these drivers are. '86 is dropping back behind a little bit. He's not as close as he would like to be. The 7's making a peek. He's gonna go for it into the Ascari. Looks like the 30 gives it up. Oh no, they're fighting wheel to wheel. 7 gets a little ambitious, hits the sausage. They get it through in one piece. The '86 is now dropped back, but behind a whole second. A whole second. That's really gonna hurt the '86's chances of catching up and getting up there. Looks like the 7's peeking up the inside. They're rubbing wheels, they're banging doors. 7 needs to make this stick coming through the parabolica curve. He's gonna give a nice toe to the driver behind. He needs to really make it a good exit out of here. Coming to the line. The checkered flag flies. It's a drag to the finish. Was the 7 smart with it? The 7's got the win! By 1.5 tenths of a second, the 7 wins this race after sticking behind for so long and playing it so careful. Gergo Denko has got the win of the sprint race today here at Monza, with 30 right behind and the '86 of Mark-Anthony in third. What a podium finish. Those top 3 drivers did a great job at keeping it clean, keeping it all together, but also showing the other drivers, hey, this is my part of the racetrack. I'm gonna race. We've got the 161 chugging along. The 375? Oh, he's pulled off into turn 1. The 161's chugging along. Does he have issues? He's going so slow. Maybe it's just because he's riding by himself. Got the 21 just a little bit behind that, half a second. No stops from anyone but the 375. '161 crosses the line 7th. Welcome back, drivers and audience. Your host Cameron here, and we're setting the grid again for our feature race. This is going to be a little bit different than our sprint race because now drivers are going to have to work with a strategy here. That everyone's going to come in with different fuel, and we do have one mandatory pit stop. And they are free to take that pit stop whenever they feel it best suits them. But if they do it too soon, they're going to get caught out and not have a draft and lose lots of race time. So I have a feeling a lot of them are going to try and come in together. We had a great race, and I believe this is reverse grid now, or yes, this is a reverse grid finish. So these guys from behind are going to give us a little bit more action trying to get through the grid and trying to work their way up through the field. We saw the 161 and the 21 there. They didn't have a lot of pace the last race, so that's either going to be a challenge for these guys to get past, or it's going to work in their advantage. Here we go. We've got the lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They drop. Green flag, and we're racing. The 21 gets an all right start, but holy... Oh, the 77 makes away. 30 wants to peek around the outside. 161 defending the inside. We got the 375. They're going 3 wide into turn 1. Can they make it stick? The 30's up 3, 4 positions. Going deep into the back. He didn't expect them to be so slow on the brakes. The 21 gets punted through the runoff area. The 30's going to have some damage on the front end. He's not going to like that. 375 up 3 positions to take the lead of the race. That is wild, wild work. The 86 has already worked his way up 2 positions. Oh, 3, he's made it up 3. The 86 is going up there. We got the 87 and the 30. Oh, 7 drops back 1. Coming into the first chicane. Everyone's getting in line. The 375 is going to have a little bit of breathing room. Holy crap, what a move. 2 in 1 corner from the 30. He is not waiting to get this race started. He took the 86 and the 161 into 1 corner. The 30 is ready. He's going to put some pressure on the 375. He is pissed. He is fuming that he had to run into the back of that driver there. Oh, we've got someone wide into the gravel in the back. The 21. He's gonna have to try and limp that back around to the pits, hopefully fix any damage that he has from getting rear-ended there. 30's making a sniff for the lead of the race already. We'll see what he's able to make of that. 86 and 7, they're all in line again. Those are your front runners from the last sprint race. We've got the 30, 86, and the 7. They are there. The 7 is kind of behind a little bit. He doesn't have quite the slipstream he would want to stay as close to these guys. So he's going to have to work together with those drivers behind to get back up there if he wants a chance at fighting for the win. Maybe the strategy for the pits comes, and looks like the 375 is getting a bit defensive with it. He doesn't want to give up the lead of this race just quite yet. He's not going to give it up that easy. The 30's going inside. 86 is going inside as well. He's going to get right past the 30, make the 30 work for it. 375 is making a move. The 30's not going to get defensive with it. He knows he's better on the brakes. He's going to hook it in. 375 is going to... He takes out the 30! The 375 spins out the 30! Does he get a good rejoin? The 30's back on track. Now all he has to do is just get a cool level ahead. Keep calm, stay collected, use that slipstream and get back up there. The 30 is not going to be happy about that. That was a desperate move from the 375 to retain position. 86 now has a second gap over him. He's going to be given a bit, and then we've got a move coming in here to the chicane, 77 and the 666. Story from last race as well. These two were battling for a long time. Ended up with this 666 going a little bit wide and spinning himself out into turn 1. Hopefully, oh, we've got another driver right. The 375 deep on the brakes and into the gravel. Now he's going to be neck and neck with the 30 again. Does the 30 get past? No problem. And the 30's definitely giving him the bird as he passes through there. Look at all the gravel getting flung up on the racetrack from going wide there. Now the 30's got to keep a level head, and he's got to just slowly work his way up here. He wants to stay calm, and the 375 is going to go up the inside again here. He is not going to make it easy at all. The 30 needs to know, he needs to remember that he is the faster driver, and he has what it takes to get past. He's got to stay calm and collected about it. The 375 goes a little bit wide. That's a really close delta. They're working on it. The 77 is having a little bit of a sniff to the 66, but I think that they're going to stay on line. 30's up the inside. 375 is wide on the outside. Using every bit of track to his advantage there. Now it looks like the 30's going to have some breathing room. Oh, he's going to get defensive, break the slipstream. Is the 375 going to get desperate and throw another bomb? This is not the battle I thought we were going to be having for the lead of the race. 86 is just pulling a gap on the 7. That's going to give him some breathing room, let him slot into position there. 375, slower on the brakes there. Lots of curb. He's not ready to give it up just yet. He's gonna give the 30 a run for his money. You got the 666 approaching the driver of the 161. See if there's anything able to come from that. I know they'll have a nice slipstream coming into the Lesmos curve there. Or in the first chicane. Oh! Someone's wide. We got lots of smoke. Oh, the 161 spun and taking himself out of the race, sitting in the middle of the racetrack. That was risky. He's able to keep it moving, keep it going again. Looks like all the bits and works of the body parts are still stuck to him. Let's get a replay on that. Oh. Back on board with the 161. He goes out wide. We're just going to let that kind of smooth into existence. Now the 30 is on the back of the 77. What does he do here? The 77 and the 666 worked together for a large portion of the last race. Are they going to be able to do it? The 30's thinking about making a move. The unfortunate thing is if the 77 can't stay close enough to the try and work together with them to catch up to the drivers ahead. The 86 is taken off with the lead of this race. He's now 2 seconds ahead of the number 7 here. He's going to give the 30 a nice little push again. 30's going to try and nuzzle up right behind that 666. Looks like they're bumping, they're pushing, they're working together. Is the 375 going to make a move up the inside, or is he going to be early on the brakes here? Brakes pretty good there this time. Hucks it in, uses that sausage for rotation. Gets it back on. Really slow exit there, but that's all right. Now the 30 is going to work hard to catch up to this 666 car. And what he does with that is going to be anyone's guess, because if he gets ahead of the 666 car, he's not going to have anywhere to go. And I think he's going to try and coax and egg on the 666 to have a good push and a good chance to catch the drivers ahead. Let's take a look back at the start of the race and how the 375 made up the 3 positions. It's coming around the outside here. Neck and neck. They were going to go 3 wide, and he was really brave to trust the other drivers. Deep on the brakes too, but he made it work. He stuck it down. That's how he kept and took the lead of the race right there at the start. As things start to settle up now. There's the 30, how he made up 3 positions from the start as well. Nice little slow-mo shot. You're over. Looks like we're trying to find the spot where 375 took out the 30 car. I believe we found it. Desperate. Oh, I don't know. It kind of looks like the 30. Let's get a rewind on that just a little bit. As long as there's no battles going on. Looks like the 30 kind of closed the door on him a little bit too soon. Was expecting him to be out on the 375. Oof. Unfortunately, I would put that as a racing incident. The 30 turns in so early there, expecting the 375 to be back out of it, but he's still not going to be happy about that. But I will retract my statements. I feel bad. I don't think it was too dirty from the 375. But now we're back to the live action here. They're still neck and neck. They're still going for it. The 30 and the 375 are battling. 375 got ahead somehow. So they're going to work together now, maybe? Or does 30 have a problem? Let's see, is he dropping behind? Except the 30 is losing some pace to the 375 there. He's already 2 seconds behind in Delta. Did they have another incident?
I think
Losing a lot of time here to the 375. Oh, they did. They got together again. So the 30 looks like was making a move to get through the 666. Oh no, lots of aero damage. The 666 spins himself out again, and then the 30 gets rear-ended from the 375. These two cannot keep their cars away from each other. Oh, and then he rolls back onto the racetrack, and the 777 gets caught up in it as well. Or the 77. Messy stuff there. Lots of damage. The 30 is just going to be falling back. Now, I do believe if he dips into the pits, he should have a chance at getting some of that damage repaired. So he will use that fast repair, hopefully, because he is losing too much pace now if he's going to stay out with that damage. That's a shame. 30 looked quick. The 666 there just spun himself out on the exit and just became a obstacle for everyone to avoid. So Looks like the 86 is still taking off with this lead. There he goes, the 30 dips into the pits. He's going to work on getting some of that damage filled. Unfortunately for him, there's no safety car, so he won't have a chance to bunch up the field. But there's still a long way to go. 30 minutes left in this race. This is where things are going to kind of smoothen out. People are going to find their rhythm. The 666 with that damage is surprisingly still on track. Somehow, after getting hit by 2 cars. But he's making that work for him. It doesn't look like any... Oh, he's got some grass. He locked up and went straight through the corner there. From the 161. And here we are with our race leader. 6 seconds in the lead now. And I have a feeling it's just going to keep on growing. The 7 car is not anywhere where he needs to be. And we're approaching some back markers now. If this 86 can get up to the 21, that's going to give him a nice tow, and that's actually going to benefit him on building a further gap to the number 7 close behind. Now, whether or not the 21 respects the blue flags and gives up the place, that could be a whole nother story. But if the 86 keeps having this good pace, he will use that slipstream to his advantage, and that's going to give him a little bit more breathing room from behind as well. Looks like the 161 is approaching the 66. They're going to go for a move there. The 666 does have damage, so I'm not sure he's going to fight it much. And the 161 gets past, takes the position. Oh, it's not over yet. The 666 is fighting it. They're coming onto the pit straight here. Oh, it looked like he was thinking about going into the pits. Right there next to that wall. Oh, geez. Swinging right up for the slipstream there. Made me a little bit worried. He's going to get back into line. We'll see if he makes any moves on the 161. He's definitely got to have some damage there from all that contact, so he's not going to be up to racing pace. Around the outside, the 161 is slow on the apex of the chicane, and he's gonna hate that. He's going to hate that. But that is motorsports. We crash. We learn. 86 is 6.5 seconds near. Oh, he's losing some of that delta now. 375 is not making up much room to the second place either. 666 is 13 seconds behind. 275 decided he was going to dump gravel all over the racetracks. He keeps going wide there a little bit. I wonder if he's got any damage or if he's got to have a little bit of aero damage, just a tiny bit. I believe he made contact with in that second collision as well. Yeah, the front end looks a little bit skewed. We're 12 minutes into this 40-minute race. Now the drivers need to start thinking about, okay, we had our exciting start. Now we got to work on fuel. And hopefully they loaded up with enough to have a good strategy for that. Some drivers might have elected to have started the race lighter, which might be why they're race here. And some drivers might have gone heavier, which means they'll just have to wait lower for the pit. 375 coming into turn 1. Makes it stick on the brakes. He's in the curb and all of the exit there. Looks like the 666 and the 161 are still neck and neck going into turn 1. He locks up the brakes. 161 sees that and they trade position again. There's a repeat of the last lap. This where the 161 rode the sausage curves there, and then the 666 made his way around the outside. The 161 returned the favor there. Now he's more than a second ahead, and if he can keep that gap, he should be out of breathing room of any slipstream. Now, 7 car is going to hate that he's losing that much time per lap to the 86, but maybe they have some time to gain in the pits. We'll see once we get to that point. 7 cars coming up onto the back marker now. Let's see what the 21 does. It's going to use that slipstream approaching the parabolica curve. Getting back onto the main straight here. Now, the 21 Looked like he was going defensive there to break the slipstream. He's putting his car in the middle of the track, but I hopefully that's him getting out of the way and letting off the throttle. Okay, it is. He's obliging to the blue flags, letting the 7 car through. That's going to give the 21 a tow. And the 21 is going to hope to stick with these guys now so that he doesn't drop farther back, but unfortunately he doesn't have the exit there. And he's already dropped back behind a second. That's going to break any chance of a good slipstream there. Looks like the 666 is finally slotted in, 2 seconds behind the 161. His air is broken up, he's gone. He's got damage he's gonna have to fix once he gets into the pits. Maybe that'll bring him back into contention there. A little bit of a lockup again. 375 now, 9 seconds behind the 7 car. Or to the interval, sorry. This car looks pretty dirty, did catch a lot of gravel, but that Osaka car is still rolling. Making his way through the Lesmos. You can see the trail in the gravel there from where I believe it was him that went wide. Back on board with our leader. Look at the size of that gap. It just keeps getting bigger too. Seems like every time he comes around here, he's got at least half a second. And Mark-Anthony is either going to be loving this or hating this. He's going to either be celebrating and hooting and hollering that he's got such a big gap, or he's going to find it very boring that he's up there running by himself. And when you're running by yourself up here like this, and you're just racing yourself, that makes it even worse when you have a mistake, or you misjudge your pits, or you don't fuel up enough, because then you've got no one else to blame beyond yourself. You've got no contact, you've got no dirty air. Now it is just him, the open road, and everything he can do to be perfect in these apexes and his strategy. He didn't gain as much time this lap as he has the past couple of ones. So we're going to ride on board through this first chicane here. See him drop into third, use that sausage for rotation. Goes wide on the exit there, stamps the foot to the floor. Coming through the Lesmos now, hooks it in, uses the curb for rotation there. Uses all of the exit. He doesn't care about no gravel. Coming through the second Lesmo. Now we're on Curva del Seraglio. Going to be approaching Ascari. He's using all of that track. He's sticking to the white lines. Full throttle, wide open, 6th gear. Drops it down at the 100-meter board. Gets into third. Hooks it right again. Uses the curbs again on the left. All of that exit is there for a reason, so he says, I'm going to use it. Now we're back onto the straight, approaching the Parabolica. Drops down with the 70. Gets to third, hooks it in tight. Nice little sun glare there. That's going to be affecting the driver's vision too. We're back on the pit stretch. Wide open, full throttle. These cars will fly down this. Their EcoBoost engine. Heavy onto the brakes in turn 1, waits to the 100-meter board. He's able to keep it clean, keep it steady, and he gained 2 seconds that lap. Wow, 2 seconds to the 7 car. I wonder if the 7 car had an issue or if the 86 is just flying and locking in. Looks like... Oh, wow. The fastest lap is 4:86, a minute 4:86. He's going. Lost a second in that sector. He had a little bit more breathing room to the 7, but the 375 is not catching the 7 either. He's kind of slotting into position there. I think it's going to be hard for the 375 to catch him with the damage that he's got. He's had a 144 from the 30 car. Finally, you can see the 7 dance out in the back there. He's still in the picture. He's still letting the 86 know, hey, I'm in your mirrors. but he's gotta really focus on getting all of these perfect since they're both in clean air. And the 86 doesn't have a toe from any back markers. The 7 just really needs to focus on hitting his braking points, making sure every apex is perfect, trailing those brakes nicely, and not locking up. The 7 is just going to have to be absolutely perfect. And there he gets a 144.402. Good lap for him. On the brakes there. Lost a little bit of time into turn 1. But he's got a good exit. This is the first time we've seen the delta gone down. It was 9 seconds last lap. Now we're down to 8. 375 has lost 2 more seconds to the 7 car. We're halfway through this race now. 20 minutes in, 20 minutes to go. When do these drivers start making their way into the pits? It's mandatory. They have to come in. All of them do have a fast repair, and they're going to need to bring in some fuel. 144.2 from the 30. It looks like the 30 is working on carving his way up the field again after that pit stop. He's a whole pit stop behind. 375 is flashing his lights at us in the commentator booth. So with the 30 having making his mandatory stop already, even though it was to repair the damage, that was his mandatory stop. He doesn't have to come in again. If he can keep getting good sector times and egging time out of the 375, using drafts from back markers as they approach, and if he can nail these, oh, we got a 144.1 from the 86. That's a good retaliation to the number 30, as the 30 just had a 144.2. And he looks like he's put another second on the number 7 car the 86 has. But the 30's name of the game now is he doesn't have to take a pit. He can stay out. And he's got just over a pit stop of room to do it with. To the 7 car. Or the 375, sorry. And his name of the game now is just perfection. We know he was quick. He had pole in the sprint. He's just got to put it all together. And the same thing with 7. They need to be perfect. No mistakes. He's got a clean car now. It's all fixed together. Mechanics did a great job. He's got I know he's going to be in his head a little bit. He's going to be unhappy the way some of those events played out. Lots of contact there. And it's a complete stark difference to how the sprint race was. Those drivers were able to keep it clean and professional and tidy. And so I think that's going to throw him for a little bit of a loop. He got a 143.9. He does need that kind of lap time. That's perfect. Good retaliation to the 144.1 of the 86. He needs to keep pulling out lap times like that to eke out the gap to first. Because all of the drivers ahead of him are going to have to come in to stop at least once. Everyone else behind the 30 has already come in for their mandatory stop. It's just the top 3 now that need to make their stops. Lots of curb there. It's a really stiff car, so I know he's feeling all of those movements. He's just eking more and more time out of the 375. We've got a fastest lap from the 86. A 143.8. These guys are seeing each other's lap times pop up on the timing screen. They're not going to let each other have it easy. The 86 and the 30 were neck and neck last time around. And they just got pipped out by the 7. Still a long way to go in this race, folks. 17 minutes. Could be anyone's game. Anything could happen. 144.8 from the 375. So the 375 is a second a lap slower. Back on board with the 86. Coming into the first chicane here. You can see these drivers have a very similar driving style, the 86 and the 30. They like to take a lot of curb in these cars. They're okay with the car being a little bit unsteady, if that means taking the time out of the corner. They're a little bit more comfortable with that. Coming into the Lesmos, he's in a higher gear there than he normally has been the past couple times around. I think he's getting more comfortable in finding his groove. His car is also getting lighter, so that will attribute to his lap times as well. We got another fastest lap from the 30 car, 143. It's 2 seconds closer to the 375. He's working his way up. That 30 car is not out of the race just yet. It's a lonely picture behind the 86. The 7 has dropped to 12 seconds behind. Look at him finally coming out of Ascari as the 86 enters the Parabolica. I think the 7 is getting a little bit too much in his head. He needs to clean up the act a little bit and just focus on hitting those corners. And the 86 is coming into pit. Perfect. Does the 7 and the 375 follow him in? Nails the braking point. Doesn't lock up. He's in the pits. Now what does the 7 do here? Does the 7 follow him in? 7 follows him in. Perfect. They're taking their stops at the same time. 375 is coming around the Parabolica now. He has a mandatory stop he has to make as well. Does he dip in or does he stay out? This 375 stays out, which is going to take the lead of this race, but net position, he's not going to have it. Now, where does this put the 30 after the stop? The 375's got some clean air to work with now. 86 is just leaving the pits, and 30 is just coming around the Parabolica. 86 into turn 1, 30 in the Parabolica. That's going to put 7's leaving the pits right now as well. It's going to put him in front of the 30 there. Good exit there. They shouldn't have had to change any tires. 30's coming into turn 1. Wait, a lockup. Looks like someone went through the chicane there. So the 375 is the only driver who has yet to pit yet. The 666 and the 161 are doing lap times of 146. They're 3 seconds off the pace, as we could tell. 38. Oh, lots of curb there. Hitting the racetrack really hard as he comes back down. Got a 145.4 from the 77. That's a personal best from him. The 30 is approaching a back marker, I believe. Is it the back marker of the 21? Yeah, there it is. Perfect. We can see his number there. That's the 21. That toe is going to be a little bit of advantage for him to find some pace, but I don't think 30 needs to be concerned much with pace. He's had it. Oh, he's wide. He's wide. Getting a little slippery. Good recovery. Good catch from the 30 car here. He's going to use all of that draft, especially on the main straight. I don't know if the 21 is going to want to give him much, but he's going to try. The 375 comes into the pits. And I think the 30 car is going to love this, because that should put the 30 car... Oh, 375 makes it right out of the pits. Does he beat him to the breaking point? He does! The 30 car is now back on the podium. This is why you never give up. With the absolute no luck of the green, had a really rough start, hit twice, taken out, and the 30 car is back in contention for some really good points in this series. Makes it back to the podium. Now his job is to keep the 375 behind. We've seen these drivers come door to door before. Hopefully they're able to keep it clean and not do that again. The 375 is just over a second behind. I'm not sure how much that drafting is going to be helping him, especially with how good we know this 30 is on the brakes and in those chicanes. The 21's a little bit wide in the back. Now the 30 just has to start eking time out of the 7 car. We know the 7 car didn't quite have the pace to stay up to the 86, but does he have the pace to keep the 30 behind? Now we've entered a new stage of the race. Everyone has made their mandatory stops. No one else is going to have to come in. Now the rest of the 12 minutes left to go is just going to be pure, raw pace. All of these drivers pushing as hard as they can to get to the end here. Looks like the 30's already taken some time out of that 7 car. We'd like to see that. Shows real true determination. You never give up even when you have a rough start. You got to keep going because anything could happen. 375 has he's losing some delta there. Yeah, I don't think the 375 has enough of a gap there to pull any slipstream from him, so that's going to give the 30 lots of room to breathe. We got a 144.3 from the 7 car. Let's see what the 30 does. 30's got a 143.8. He needs to keep doing lap times like that, and he's going to catch that 7 car in no time. Just take out a few tenths at a time. We've got 10 minutes to go. I don't know if he's got enough time with the 10 minutes that we have, but it's going to have us on the edge of our seat the whole way around. The 86 is doing a good job at keeping that 7 car right there the entire race. That gap has not changed much since the last couple of laps here. It went up to about 9, and then we're up to 12, and he's been able to keep it there at around 12, and whether that's out of the raw pace of the 7 behind or the 86 is letting off a little bit, I'm not sure, but they're finding their groove here, these drivers. It's a lonely spot for the 7 to be. He's got a driver 12 seconds behind and a driver 12 seconds ahead, so. But is it really lonely in second place? That's still going to be a good finish if he can bring it to the checkered flag. We've got 10 minutes to go here. You can see the 30 in the background. He's taunting. It's menacing to that number 7 car. I know that 7 car sees him in the mirrors, and he's looking at that relative drop and drop and drop. All the 7 car has to do is not overdrive it. He needs to keep it clean on exits and entry. Don't lock up and don't get in his head, because that's what's going to make the mistakes. We got a 144.4 from the 7 car, and I'm thinking a 143.9 from the 30. That's my guess. 143.7, 2/10 more than what I was expecting. He's eking time out. That's a second faster than the 375 behind. The 375 did a 144.7. That's going to feel good for Agustin, because he's not going to have to be worrying about rubbing doors with 375 again like they did at the start of the race. And he knows that he's got just a little bit more chance to catch that 7 car. This is a prime example of why you never give up in motorsports. You got to keep pushing. Got a personal best from 161. He's done a 145.6, 2 seconds off the pace. Coming out of the Lesmos curves. Going to be approaching the Ascari curve again. 375 goes wide once again. He's really liking that gravel pit back there, but he's made his way through it every single time. He hasn't gotten stuck in it. That's going to cut off some time. That's really going to eliminate any chance of him being able to catch this 30 car. 375 is going to be beating himself up because of that. Gravel dropping out of the car the whole way through. Tires are going to be dirty. And just not enough distance between the two to catch a slipstream. So coming to the line, we've got a 144.1 from 7. This is the battle we're watching here, because we know that the 30 has to keep pushing up. Got a 144.1 from the 7. And then the 30 does a 143.8, so he's only taken about 3/10. I don't think the 30 is going to have enough time. The 30 is going to be banking on the 7 making a big mistake. And the 86 is still eking out time from the 7 too. This is going to be a comfortable win from him if he can keep it and bring it to the line. I don't want to commentators curse him, but he's looking smooth, calm, and collected this entire race. That reverse grid pretty much reversed itself right at the start there with but there were some pretty good moves from the drivers. We had the 30 take 2 cars into 1 corner. The 30 was looking really fast, had some pace, but it just didn't work out for him. We've got 7 minutes to go here. He's eking more and more time. He's broken the double-digit mark. He's now within 9 seconds of that 7 car. That 30 is just going to be thinking and praying and hoping for anything to happen to the guys ahead. Some mistake, a lockup, anything that's going to give him within touching distance. Keeps building up a gap from that 375. I mean, look at behind. 86 is just clear. He's smooth sailing. This is a dominant one from him if he can get it to the end. You see the 7 car coming around right there as soon as he's entering the Parabolica. There's no catching this man. Mark-Anthony Hinkson is flying. Come back onto the main stretch now. Coming into turn 1, 86 really just has to nail his braking points. He has no pressure from behind and no pressure from in front. All he has to do is bring it home. 6 minutes to go here at Monza in the Ukrainian Racing League. We've had some great action from the Sprint Cup and this. Oh, we got a fastest lap from the 30, a 1:43.4. He is pushing hard. He does not want to give this up. Agustin Torlaschi is pushing. See some sparks there. Going through the Lesmos. All the trails from the 375, pushing out wide. There's some more from the 375. Got a 1:46 from the 666, a 1:46.1. Got a 1:45.8 from the driver behind that. Okay. Thank you. '86 is coming here into the Parabolica now. Okay. So we've got a message here from the father of the 30 car. An Argentine never gives up. We have that in our blood. Never give up. If you fall 7 times, get up 8. The proud father of Agustin. What happened here? The 30's into the pits? Did the 30 forget that he made his stop? Why'd the 30 dip into the pits? What's going on? He was on for a podium. Did he have a drive-through? Oh, not enough fuel. Bummer. Oh, how heartbreaking. What a heartbreaking story for the 30. Oh, and you can see he's upset with that exit there. Oh, with 4 minutes to go, and now he's got to get a recovery in, and that lets the 375 through. Oh, what a heartbreaking story, but you still never give up. He's still going to show up, and he's still going to get that 4th place finish if he can bring it home. Oh, I hope he knew that. Oh, dang, man, he has had some pace. He was pushing. That gives the 375 the podium position. And with 3.5 minutes to go, that stings. That hurts a little bit. But you still never give up. That was the 7th time fallen, and here he is, the 8th time, getting back up and still pushing. He could have parked it in the pits out of frustration and said, there's no point. But there is a point. He's learning from this. Everything is a learning experience. Now he knows. If it was an under fuel issue, now he knows not to fuel, to give himself more fuel for the next time. Now he knows what the wheel-to-wheel contact is going to be with the 375 car, and he knows how to adjust to that for the next time they battle. There are so many things you can take away even from a bad race. Niki Lauda said that he always learned more from losing, and I think that's what we're going to get from a lot of these drivers here. They're going to learn a lot. The 86 has now eked out his gap to the 15 seconds. That is a dominant gap, and here we see the 30 coming and approaching the Parabolica. What a heartbreaking finish for him. 2 minutes to go. We've got the 666 behind. He's got no chance. A 1:44.3 from the 375. Wow, look at that. Using every bit of the track there. 86. All he's got to do is bring it home. He's been smooth, calm, and collected this entire race. And it's been a long one. We've had 40 minutes non-stop action. Here we go. Making our way through Ascari. Got 1 minute and 30 left. It should be white flag this time by. I believe the 86 is taking the white flag currently. With the pace being 1 minute and 40. He's coming down the pit stretch. And what a win. I hope he feels good. He's going to be standing on top of that podium if he makes it to the end. I'd like to not jinx him, but I hope he should be proud of himself. He made it through all the chaos, was able to eke out a gap, and has just had this race. Tight grip. 1:44.3 from the 7 car, and a 2-minute and 30. So we had another 2-stopper from the 77. Wonder why he went back into the pits. Maybe not enough fuel there as well. A 1:45 from the 375. Oh, and that's so heartbreaking to see, because if the 30 was there, he'd be all over him. He had the pace, he had the gusto, he had the courage, and he never gave up. A 1:43.3. That is so quick from Agustin. Coming around, approaching Ascari now. The 86 is going to take this checkered flag, and he's going to wave it strong and proud. A 15-second gap might as well be Max Verstappen in a 2023 Red Bull car. A dominant win. Large gap here. And he did good with the reverse grid setup, was able to make it work. And this is the 86's payback for the 7 stealing the win from him. Coming around the final corner, taking the checkered flag, approaching, and the 86 wins here at Monza for the feature race. 14 seconds behind, we got the number 7, rounding out for second place, crossing the checkered flag now, and he's got second place. Now we're on board with the 375, coming in third. Honestly, and great job from the 375. We can't discredit him. You know, just as much as the 30 was caught in those incidences, the 375 was right there with him. The 375 was going wide. He was in the gravel. And look, the 375 knows. He knows we're talking about him. He didn't give up either, and he made it to third. So great job for Ilya Ratkin there. He didn't give up. He showed that, you know, even if you're still caught, you could still get it. We've got a burnout going on for the victory. Agustin, number 30, takes the 4th place and stops it on the track. I know he's beating himself up over that, but that's all right. We've got the victory donuts from the 86 winning the feature race here at Monza. And as he should, too. As he should. Light him up, boys. That was a dominant win. And that was just amazing to watch. He just carried away with it. The 375 looks like he's joined him down there, too. Yeah, we can't take that away from the 375. The 375 had a bit of a chaotic race. He was going wide a lot. He was involved in a lot of incidents, but he still kept going, and he didn't give up either, and that got him a podium finish. So well done, Ilya Ratkin. Well done, Gergo, and well done, Mark-Anthony. Those are our top 3 finishers. We've got the 21 just rounding out the end, just now crossing the finish line. And that is Monza, folks. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Perfect. Okay. Just a minute here with our podium. Mark-Anthony, what a win. 15 seconds behind was your gap. You held on to it from the start, and every lap you were just putting more and more gap between the line. How does it feel standing on the top steps at here at Monza?
It feels really good. It's been a while since I raced, so to have such a clean race and to be so consistent is just a really good stepping stone going into the next round.
I agree with you. I think it's a great foot to stand on. I think we were watching you here up in the commentator booth, and I was wondering, like, what was going through your mind when you had the lonely track? You had no one in front, no one behind. You know, what goes through your mind in those moments? You just got to worry about being perfect, being consistent, no mistakes, because a lockup or going wide into one of those corners could have gave the number 7 behind kind of peek up into you.
Exactly. I just wanted to get away from the draft, and then once I got away by myself, it was just like I'm my biggest enemy. So just try to be clean, don't overdo it, and I was able to keep it on the road.
That's funny you use that word, because I think we said the same thing up here. I said, once you're in this position, your mind is who you're racing against, and you can be your biggest enemy. But it looks like
Correct.
today you were your biggest friend. So congratulations on the win. That was awesome to see.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk with the second place driver now. Number 7 of Gergo. Gergo, second place. How are you feeling after that? I know it was a little bit of a trouble catching up to especially coming off the win for the sprint feature. I know you had a little bit of trouble catching up to the 86 there as soon as you left the draft. But second place, you should still feel good, man. That was a great race.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, I won the first place, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was a bit of a lottery. And yeah, I mean, I got the most points in the weekend, so really happy.
That is really good. It was a really good win to watch too for that sprint feature there because we were watching you and it seemed like you were kind of building up and you were being careful about it. And correct me if I was wrong, but you were waiting. You were waiting your time. You knew that the drivers ahead were going to get their elbows out. They were going to slow each other down, and you were just kind of waiting for that slipstream to bring it to the end at the line. And that's exactly what you did for that win.
Yeah, I felt like they are concentrating on each other and not on me. And I think I had a little bit of speed advantage compared to them. So I tried to position myself in the second place so I can overtake in the last lap, and yeah.
And it worked. You made it work. Yep.
Yeah.
And congratulations on the second place here. Most points over the weekend today. And you did a really good job.
Thanks.
We'll talk to Leah Ratkin now. Our third place finisher.
Oh.
Aaliyah, number
Yep.
375. What a crazy race from you to bring it home to the third place finish. We saw you doing some zigzags on the stretch there. How does it feel? We know you were going wide, you hit the gravel a lot, you had some contact, but you didn't give up and you kept pushing, and here you are on the podium.
Yep. Quite an eventful race, let's say it so. Well, the sprint race wasn't so fortunate as the feature race was. Well, at the same time, the feature race was a little bit much more dirtier than the sprint. Unfortunately, had a bit of a moment with Agustin into the first chicane.
Yeah, we did watch that. That was how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you were at fault? We took a look up here and it looked like you kind of came across your nose, but also you know.
Yeah,
how do you feel about that?
It felt a bit like he turned into me, but once again, I'll have to watch replay because maybe I could have been more to the inside, but at the same time, it felt like I have left quite a lot of space for him. So I have to watch the replay, but as it feels at this moment, it feels more like he just turned into me and spun himself with me.
So no regrets. We're taking that third place, huh?
No, I will always take the third place, but I mean, if we watch the replay, if Agustin feels like that, he will file a protest. The judges will check that. If I'm at fault, then I'm at fault. I won't say that everyone is bad, everyone can drive, and I'm the best, and stuff like that. If I'm at fault, I will acknowledge that I'm at fault. That was my mistake. Such things happen. If
Yes.
not, well then. I'm feeling right at the moment than if I'm not at fault. Also had a moment once again with Agustin, but we were not both at fault of that moment when we were trying to overtake the...
That was the 666 who spun himself out, I believe.
Yeah, I suppose he went on the throttle a bit too early on the exit of first chicane and spun himself. But, well...
Hopefully that's a learning experience for him. Yeah, and and that's what I'm saying is you and the 30 there, you made a great job at not giving up and pushing through that damage. Luckily, you did have that fast repair, but I believe you just went out a little bit wide. I wasn't sure if you made contact there, but still, what a great example of why to never give up. You made it to third.
Yep. Well, trying to achieve the high places.
Of course.
Honestly, wasn't quite an easy task with all the guys we have. So this season, it's sort of I'm not sure if it's even the first podium for me. Probably it is, but the guys are just they're driving
so quick
in the rocket ships, not in the cars.
Yeah.
As hard as I try to match their pace, it's a bit. At the moment, it's a bit. Seems like impossible, but hey, anyway, we'll keep on pushing, keep practicing, trying to put in so many hours of practice as physically possible, and hopefully I will be able, probably not overtake, but at least match their speed.
Well, I hope the best for you, and I hope that you are able to put that practice down, and good job on today's third place finish.
Thank you.
I believe that's all we've got for you guys today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning up to round 4 at Monza International here with the Ukrainian Racing League. What a great race from these Radical SR10s. High downforce, really quick cars using the EcoBoost engine. Lots of great action. The drivers were able to keep it pretty clean, wheel to wheel, and I'm excited for the next one. I believe, look at the schedule here. We are, yeah, the next race will be on the 29th at, what track? I don't know why I did that. There we go. At Spa, yep, at Spa, the 29th at Spa. Hopefully there'll be some more of those drivers that are able to show up and get their elbows out and show us their pace. But I think that was a really good finish from a lot of these guys. We had some good action. That sprint race was awesome to watch. The main feature, really quick, really awesome. We had some good drivers here, and I'm excited to see what the next week brings. Thank you all for watching, and we will see you guys round 5 at Spa.